Good evening. Welcome to the post-game press conference for California. A note that ASAP Sports will transcribe all press conferences and that Hammond Communications will provide satellite coverage and coordinates. Reminder, too, that only credentialed media may ask questions. Media, please identify yourself and your affiliation, and please use the microphone to ask a question. Microphone stewards on either side of the gallery will assist you. The California Media Relations contact is Doug Drabick. We're joined now by head coach Mike Montgomery and student athletes Justin Cobbs, a junior guard, Alan Crabb, a junior guard, and Robert Thurman, a senior forward. Opening remarks now by Coach Montgomery.
Well, we're thrilled. Obviously, I think that kids really had a proper attitude coming into this. I think that probably playing them the first time did help us mentally, just based on the fact that we did compete with them and had a chance to win. So I don't think there was a fear factor there, really. I think we felt like we could win. We played really hard, which was something that we have done off and on. Not all the time, but we played really hard. I thought we pursued balls. I thought we contested three-point shots like we asked them to. You know, we had some, it wasn't always smooth. We missed free throws down the stretch, which is a little bit unusual for us. And we had a couple mental errors where we didn't really think about what we were doing. But other than that, you know, we played a pretty good game. I think the zone bothered them. We'd started off going to play made-missed, you know, and with the idea that we could maybe break their tempo, break their rhythm a little bit, and had some pretty good success. They hit some threes early, and had they continued to hit threes deep like they did early, we probably wouldn't have been able to do it, but they cooled off, and big guys did a good job on the boards. I thought everybody contributed, so feels pretty good. I mean, it really does. I mean, 12-5, I don't, you know, that's great. That'll make for good conversation. But really, it's two basketball teams in a game we had to play well to win, and we knew we had to, and I thought we did.
Questions for the student athletes only at this point. Student athletes only. Yes, sir.
John Crumpacker, San Francisco Chronicle. To Alan, what was the key to your team's play at the start of the second half when you had a little surge and were able to get up by a few points, which seemed to be very important to the outcome of the game?
We told ourselves before we went out, you know, the first 5 minutes are going to be the most important for us, you know, starting off the half. And we did good. I feel like, you know, we really took them out of their rhythm in our zone. You know, we scrambled, you know, when, you know, we weren't in the right place at the right time. We just, you know, really helped each other out big on the defensive side.
Additional questions for the student athletes? Jeff, in the back.
Justin, can you talk about what was said during the huddles when you guys were up 3 and twice you fouled after the Utah game where you guys didn't?
We were very conscious of knowing last time against Utah they were able to get a three-point shot off, which, you know, sent the game into overtime. So coach, you know, told us to foul and, you know, don't let the guy get in his shooting motion before, you know, just in case you don't want to put it in the ref's hands. So we talked about it, and coach decided to foul. So let those guys go down and shoot 2 free throws and see what happens.
Other questions in the middle here.
Hi, Antonio Gonzalez with the Associated Press. I guess for Justin or any of you guys, second straight Pac-12 team to win here today, and both of you guys were 12 seeds. Just curious if you guys were able to catch any of the Oregon game and what both these games maybe say about your conference.
Shows you that our conference is, you know, tough. It's tough from top to bottom. Teams are playing well right now, so all the bad press we were getting before, maybe it wasn't true. So guys are playing well right now, and I just, you know, wish the best of luck to all the rest of the Pac-12 schools.
Other questions? Let's go to the back, very back, John.
Yeah, Robert, you talked earlier in the year about a question, you know, sometimes the legs aren't there, 275 pounds, whatever it is. Is it safe to say the thrust, you had that tonight, and that was the key?
You know, for me, it's for most guys who are 6'10", it's not very hard to dunk, but I just got really lucky because, you know, Justin and Alan really penetrated well, and they're a big threat when they get there, and I was just wide open underneath the rim and just did what most big guys are supposed to do.
Let's go to the far right.
Rob, were all 6 of your buckets dunks?
Yes.
And number two, with the zone inside with Bennett, did you sense him getting frustrated because he was not nearly as effective in this game as he was in the first?
Yeah, I think the zone kind of threw him off. They have kind of an ISO type of offense, and when you use a zone, it's a little bit harder to get guys on one-on-one situations for long periods of time. And we did a good job containing him.
Let's go here.
Justin, when Bennett was set up on your side of the zone, you were really almost fronting him a lot of the time. Was that part of your game plan, that you were really going to shade him on that side?
Not really shade, just bracket. Just make sure, Robert, Dave, Richard, they knew they had another guy help. So I just told those guys, just send them to your help. I'm right there on your side. So like Rob said, their offense is really ISO oriented. So we were conscious of to make sure we were helping guys and going to rebound the ball.
Got a couple more questions for the student athletes, and then we'll move on. Any additional questions for the student athletes?
Yes, to Robert, did you have any specific marching orders in the second half that Coach Montgomery gave you, or what was your understanding about how you needed to play in the second half? I guess.
I just need to play how I'm supposed to play all the time. That's set screens, take charges and finish when I'm open. That's just been my job all along. So I just did my job.
One more question for student athletes. Let's go to the very back.
Robert, you tweeted out before the game that this is this could be your last shot, could be your last time playing. Did you go in with a little more energy because you had that kind of thought running through your mind?
Yeah, it's every senior doesn't want the season to end, and I don't think a lot of the guys on the team wanted our season to end today. So we played like it, and we got the win.
Justin, Allen, Robert, thank you. Congratulations on today's victory. We'll open the floor now for questions to Coach Montgomery. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Coach Montgomery, just was curious your thoughts on the Pac-12 going 3-0 today with Arizona also winning in addition to you and Oregon. And is that something that the league could use, just kind of given the reputation over the last couple of years?
Sure. I mean, it's the only thing you can do to try to convince people of otherwise. I don't think it's ever going to really change as long as I've been in the league 20-some years, is to go out and win. It's the only thing you can do to prove that you're a good conference. I can't imagine there being a better conference than the Pac-12. I mean, across the board, all sports, the whole way we approach the thing. But that's, for me to say that means nothing. You got to go out and win games. I don't think anybody in our league came in with a chip on their shoulder like we weren't good or that we weren't supposed to win. I think Oregon thought they were supposed to win. I think we thought we were supposed to win. And so, that's the way you approach these games. It's an opportunity, and I think we've so far done a good job. And as I think Justin said, I hope the rest of the league continues to play well. It was a good conference this year.
Let's go to the third row here. I'm sorry. Go ahead, John. We'll get you next, sir.
Mike, was there any second thoughts at all about fouling in those situations? We were up 3, especially given what happened a week ago.
Well, we talked about it. We burned some timeouts that we maybe necessarily wouldn't have liked to have used. I like to have timeouts in my back pocket going into the last couple minutes to cover every eventuality in case you have to take one in an emergency, can't get it in bounds. But we'd actually used them, I think, wisely. So there could have been a way to explain what we were trying to do a little bit better than trying to yell out on the court to them. The problem was if you're up 4, you don't need to foul. If you're up 3, you don't want them to hit a 3, so you want to foul. If you're up 2, you can't foul because that ties the game. So there's like 3 different scenarios that you're trying to communicate. A lot of that could have been solved if we'd have made free throws, and then we could have, forced them to have to make it. But, I've never been a big proponent of giving points up. I don't know what the average of how many times I've gotten burned by not fouling versus how many times we've won a game because we've given up a poor shot. We talked about it during practice that the problem was we didn't use much time. You'd have liked to have used more time off the clock rather than fouling right away. But the fact that we really are not really well-oiled in that particular strategy. I just wanted to get it done. I mean, they sometimes rolled it up and we fouled right away, knowing that they were going to get 2 foul shots, not 3, you know, so we were going to have a lead. But if you miss a foul shot, pretty soon it can go 3, then it can go 2, then it can go 1. So, you know, it worked, and so we're pleased with it. I mean, if they'd have rebounded a miss and tipped it back out and hit a 3 and beat us, you'd all be chewing my fanny, but it didn't work that way.
Let's go here, then we'll go to the gentleman in the front.
Dan Lackman, Bear Insider. Mike, in the first half they made 5 threes. Second half they were 1 for 9. Was there any adjustment you made in the zone in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it was specifically that kept them from making some of the shots that they didn't make. I mean, the one shot Jones shot was way deep in the first half, and then Reinhardt, same thing. They were dragging our, I don't know, too technical, but they were dragging our post guy up. And originally what we told the wings, when they drug the post guy up, the wing was supposed to take and the post was supposed to drop back. The problem with that was that it left the wing down low on the other side and he couldn't get up to the three-point shooter. So that what they were trying to do actually worked for them. So we told them that the post had to stay with the guy all the way up so that the wing could take the next guy. They were ball screening, and then this point could step off and the post could stay away and they wouldn't get that 3. But we contested them. I don't think, I mean, if they'd have continued to shoot the ball that way from that deep, it'd been tough to beat them, regardless. But that's I mean, they'd have, been 10 for 18? That'd been pretty good percentages. But they didn't. They started to miss shots a little bit, and that's what a zone's going to do. You have to, so many times you've seen coaches, and me included, play a zone, guy hits a 3, I gotta get out of that zone, you know, and then, you know, but eventually you hope it comes back to you.
Front row here.
Yeah, Mike, what did you tell the team how you wanted them to play at the start of the second half? What was the key to that, to playing so well at the start of the second half, to really to seize momentum in the game?
Well, I think you probably give a little more credit for what is said and then what the kids are going to do. I mean, if I said, look, I want you to jump over the backboard, and you know, and that doesn't mean they're going to do it. What we said is the first 5 minutes of the second half is critical. I think they understand that. You know, we had an even game. We got off to a great start. They came back, surged back, and then it kind of became cat and mouse, back and forth, got even. I think we felt pretty good about that. So, you know, our thing has always been first 3 to 5 minutes of the second half is really important. You know, that sets the tone. And we kind of started the second half a little bit like we started the game. We went bang, 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 made some shots, and all of a sudden we were up. And let's face it, it's a whole lot easier to play from ahead than it is from behind. I mean, you start to lose your confidence, you start to second guess yourself, you start to have doubts. But we never really got in that situation.
We've got 3 quick questions. I've got this gentleman here on the left, in the back, and then right here, and we'll need to cut it off. John, right here to about the 5th row. No. Well, right there. Thank you.
Mike, can you tell us the last time you played 40 minutes of zone and the last time you played as much 3 up, 2 down as you did in the second half?
Boy, I can't remember. You know, at Montana, we played zone all the time. We were a zone team. You know, we played 2-3 zone, and, you know, when I came across the bay, tried to get kids zone, they couldn't do it. They were much better in man because it was responsibility. They took responsibility. We've always used a zone. We've had a miserable time guarding inline out of bounds. We've gotten burned on inline out of bounds. We have people just lighting us up on inline out of bounds in man. So we've kind of said, okay, let's play zone on inline out of bounds specifically. And if that possession they don't play very well against it, well, let's go again. You know, if they don't do it again, let's stay with it. But we wanted to start the game made missed, as I said. And then late, I mean, let's face it, they're going to isolate you with really good athletes. We started to get in foul trouble a little bit, so we said, one of the things we had a hard time doing is recovering back in man after a miss. We were having a hard time finding our man because they felt like they would rebound the ball defensively with their bigs because they're so good that way, and so they ran their guards out, and we were having a hard time finding them. So we said, okay, let's just go back and go to your spots, find your guy, and we ended up playing a lot. And, you know, the zone's helped us this year. We've had 2 or 3 games, big games, where we've played mostly man in the first half and then second half gone to a zone. I mean, Arizona down there, for example, we did that, and they had a hard time with it. So it's paid dividends for us. I don't think people probably expect us to do that necessarily in your preparation, but there are times when it can work for you.
Let's go to the back row and finish with the third row here.
Yeah, you answered it a little there, but obviously you've employed the zone with quite a bit of success here in the second half of the season. I'm not sure that you would characterize teams as being ill-prepared for it, but does it surprise you that it continues to confound them with the frequency it does?
I don't think I would use the word confound. I think that probably what you're really saying is there's a rhythm to the game of basketball, and certain teams like to play a certain way. They like to play off pick and rolls. They like to take you. They like to roll. There's a lot of things. Some teams just are more comfortable in man. Most teams are. You spend the whole majority of your time doing that. They isolate really good athletes in man, and it's hard to get help. And so we were aware of that. That's where Bennett hurt us so much last time. We couldn't get help, and even when we did, he hurt us. So I don't think it confounded them. They got good shots. They got the ball inside in the paint some. I just don't think they probably liked it that much. You know, we've played teams before where, and I'm not saying this is that situation, where they've just ripped us in man, and then we've gone zone, and all of a sudden they just stood. Weren't as comfortable at point of attack. You always got help in a zone, theoretically. Every point in time, there's a help guy there. So it just changes the mentality some a little bit. If it hadn't worked, we'd have had to get out and play man. We were prepared to do that.
Last question right here.
Paul Gackel, San Francisco Examiner. Coach, all year you've said that two big keys are just playing strong defense, locked in for 40 minutes, and getting secondary scoring. How were you able to get this in this big game, and can you kind of take us through the last 30 seconds, what that's like from a coach's perspective?
Well, I think the kids were excited. I mean, I think that, you know, I kind of a logical, common sense kind of a guy, and I just explained what this was. You know, that this is the last chance you have. You're not going to play on Saturday because you have another game, and, you know, this is it. This is what you got left. Why would you not play hard? Why would you not play with every ounce of energy that you have? It doesn't make any sense to me. You know, and I thought we had a good week. Now, everybody wants to make this out of home court. I don't buy the home court theory because there was a lot of people there that didn't buy tickets to watch us. They bought tickets to watch basketball. But I will buy the theory that it was really great to be close to home because we had, you know, preparation time Monday, didn't have to be specific Monday. Tuesday we had a good practice. Wednesday we stayed at home, had a good practice, although abbreviated. We're able to come down, get rested, and it didn't involve a frenzy. So I think they were more like a normal situation as far as a game. And I'm not sure it was appreciably different for UNLV. I mean, they're now are playing right away. So I like that part of it. I just think that when things started to go a little bit positive, I thought that really picked us up. You know, we never got to where we were down and out and whatever we were trying to do didn't work and whatever they did work, and it was like, oh my goodness, you know, that really helped us. Getting off that 7-0 start, that helped us.
Coach, thank you. Congratulations
All
on
right.
tonight's victory.
Thank
Mike
you.
Montgomery, California.